Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading for the week of December 30th. My name is Lynn, and if you've not been here before, then I'll explain. I do a reading with cards, and I use them as a focus for my guides. So as I was working with them to set this up, the first image that they gave me was you. There is a beach, and it's a very gentle kind of water, but a very vast beach. And you're standing inside of a structure that could almost be like a beach hut, except that it's got a door that pops open almost like a cuckoo clock. And it slides open, you stretch out, you look at the water, and then you move back. Doors close, and you're in your safe little box. So you've got this beautiful, beautiful ocean that you could be walking along. You could be swimming in, paddling around, just even waiting because it's so gentle and beautiful. But you're not coming out of your box. When I checked in with that, it was like, oh, of course. The box is your earth. It's your security. You are an earth sign. And of all the earth signs, you connect most directly to the root chakra because the triad for the earth sign, the earth element within the Ayurvedic system and the polarity system is knees, colon, neck, and you relate to colon or bowels. So you're right in the zone of the root chakra. The two polar emotions that are supported by the frequency of the earth element are fear and courage. Every element has polar opposites of emotion. Earth is fear and courage. So we come naturally, I say that because I'm a Taurus, the earth signs come naturally to learning and growing through fear and courage, through understanding courage, through overcoming fear. And it's very much a natural part of our psychological makeup. The earth element is also what supports the development of the ego structure, which is the vehicle through which we go out and experience the earth to bring back that as learning. And by its very nature, the earth element and the root chakra relates to family of origin. Okay? So very often what you'll find with earth signs is that when they have not had strong security within their childhood to help develop a real sense of identity and understanding and ability to really feel safe in interacting with the world around them, based usually on how they interact within the family or what the family experiences as a unit with the outside world, they will often contract because that's the nature of earth. That's the nature of protection, right? It's to hunker down, to close in, to go back into the box. Now, if we look at the water is related to the second chakra up, connections, partnerships, sexuality, but not just sexual partnerships. So if we look back at this, I'm getting all of that. I'm going, okay, so it's difficulty for Virgo, this, whoever I'm reading for now, there is a tendency for Virgos to not always be super comfortable with emotions, with dealing with emotions, especially if they're in any way tumultuous and if they connect back to early childhood memories or situations that trigger that sense of insecurity and therefore fear. So, all that being said, what I'm getting as I pull these cards is that I don't know who I'm reading for here, and it may be a very small group of people, may be very specific. So if this is not for you, let it go. But I'm getting a lot of sense that there is, from the past, very much connected to childhood. That sense that there has been remorse, guilt, shame, grief, something that has connected back into a difficulty for you in dealing with your sense of worthiness, your sense of well-being that has really profoundly affected in the past your ability to perhaps connect emotionally with people. We all know that Virgo as a sign is very meticulous. They're very perfectionistic. And I'm being reminded of somebody as I'm saying this who was so specific in having to maintain his structures with precision that it really cut into his ability to explore life spontaneously. There was always a reason not to expand. There was always a reason not to open up the framework of what his particular life was, social life was, work life was. It always took some kind of crisis to force him out of that. And therefore, because it was in a position of insecurity, it was never a safe place for him to deal with change and upset and things of that nature. So I'm being reminded of this. I know many Virgos. I know many different characters. This is coming to me now as I'm doing this reading. So I feel like this is relevant for some of you. I would ask you to check into where you feel issues from your childhood have created heavy energy in you, either through guilt, remorse, shame, obviously grief. The thing that's really interesting too about that is that kind of insecurity can create almost a false sense of pride. Healthy pride is wonderful. We need to be able to be proud of what we do and honor that and own that. That's part of self-love and that's part of self-acceptance. And, false humility doesn't do anybody any good at all. But pride that is developed to protect a person against an insecurity, that's very hollow, and that often will prevent people from being able to look at and understand where they're coming from. And this is the whole thing about self-awareness. Why is it important? Why is it relevant? Well, because if we're having behaviors that are being motivated by wounds, by insecurities, by certain developmental phases that didn't give us what we needed to be strong in ourselves and confident in our character, then how can we change it? How can we grow? We become constantly victims of our own programming. Self-awareness begins the process of being able to say, is this real? Is this true? Am I more than that? Was that really worthy of being something I'm shameful about? Where does this pattern with women come from? My mother? And I'm not just talking about relationships, romantic relationships, but we often have patterned behaviors around people based on where we came from and what our primary relationships were like. So Virgo, I feel like you're really being asked to look at that. Where do some of your constrictions from the past and your patterned habitual emotional responses prevent you from being able to really appreciate the fact that emotions can be gentle and smooth and beautiful and vast and far more than you've experienced them as being? That they don't have to be scary. This ocean I'm looking at for you, it's not great, huge crashing waves. It's beautiful, beautiful, soft, lovely sand and gentle, gentle water lapping in gradually and smoothly. I feel as though, I'm getting shivers here, I feel as though you are in a position right now where a world of emotion, beautiful, gentle, potentially nurturing, warm emotion is right in front of you. And you're being asked to look at, what is this box that is holding you in, that is preventing you from moving forward? You don't have to be free of fear to move forward. What we're asking you to do is develop a new relationship to your fear. Look at it as something that has been developmentally part of what kept you safe, and check in to see whether or not you're on high alert all the time in a way you don't need to be. Please check in with the idea that it might absolutely be possible for you, and in fact is incredibly possible for you, because you've got risk, success, and grace right here, that it is possible for you to live an emotional life that is not based on hyper-vigilance and fear. needing to be so precise in everything that you do, or consistent. It may not always even be precise, but consistent with the way you do things and the way you look at things in order to be safe. I would really, really encourage you to take a look at that and allow yourself to be a little bit more playful within the understanding of tender emotions, emotions in general, letting go in life. I feel like this is your opportunity to let go in a way where you can still be safe, where you can tiptoe into the water because it is safe, and that you can really, really let yourself be guided more by your sense of well-being and fun and intuition, your positive intuition, than your hypervigilance and your analysis, all of that stuff. So that's what I feel you're being encouraged to do. And I feel, again, you've got the grace card here right in the center. Grace has a smooth, easy, peaceful, and supportive quality. It flows naturally into us and through us. It's an experience of letting the benevolent universe take us through our movements and guide us with a loving hand. Notice the feeling quality of this description and return to it today every time you're about to do or to think about anything, or at any point in the day when you find yourself being stressed and thinking too much. So this is the card for the week. This is it, my loves. This is taking a chance that there is a benevolent guide for you. You don't have to be contracted all the time. You're not the only one keeping you safe. You can lean into your intuition and you can trust a little bit that there is a higher power that is guiding you in all of this. When your intention is to move forward, to grow, to let go of those things that are holding you back, you get the guidance for it. You get the support for it because that's the expansion of your soul. That's what the universe wants. That's what you're here for. So take a chance on that. Of course, in healthy ways and in ways that we know are safe. So that's it, Virgo. It's beautiful, actually. It's really beautiful. It's you letting go of all of that stuff, trusting in grace, trusting that things can be better, easier, moving into play, letting things be instead of having to manage them all the time, letting what needs to go from the past go, and taking a chance on that beautiful, beautiful beach and that lovely, warm, soft ocean. Okay? Take care and have a great week. Likes, cares, subscribes, shares, likes, cares. You know what I mean. You'll know what I mean. And have a great week. I'll be back next week.